Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, we're going to have a conversation class. Our topic today, basically talking about changes, whatever, personal changes, changes in our lives, changes in society, whatever we come up with. All levels and abilities are welcome to join the class. We'll go wherever the conversation takes us. This is a very relaxed and casual class, so no worries. And we'll be using, of course, comparison language, maybe comparatives, superlatives. Things are better, things are worse than they used to do. Used to be. We'll be practicing those things as we discuss. Okay. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Is the wind blowing yet where you are?
Not yet, but it hitting Okinawa, so people evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
30,000 people evacuated.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, a lot of trees fell down, and and
Yeah.
very warm and humid air came from Okinawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, typhoon sending us very
Interesting.
uncomfortable cool air.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, good luck. Stay safe. Hello, Jose. Luis. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, teacher.
Okay. Welcome to the class. And hello, Roger. Always a pleasure. Roger. Waves. Very nice. Nice, Roger. Okay. Okay. Heidi, I'm going to start with you. We're going to talk about changes. All right. Let's start with personal stuff. Has your appearance changed in the last 5 years? Have you done anything to change your appearance? Changed your hair? Changed your clothing style? Pierced your nose? I don't know.
My appearance.
Yeah, have you done anything to change your
Maybe I
appearance?
got a wrinkle around my eye.
Okay, me too. These wrinkles here on your eyes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I shouldn't laugh so much.
Yeah, right. Actually, that's funny because in English we call those laugh lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the wrinkles on your face. I have them too. All right. Or an interesting collocation, an interesting, I guess it's a compound noun. It's a set phrase. We call them crow's feet because they look like a bird's feet.
Yes,
you know,
the same as Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay. But, okay, other than inevitably aging, as we all do, you haven't made any changes in your appearance? Let me ask you something. Uh, you and I were a little older and more mature, but let me ask you something about Japanese. Is changing your appearance through surgery, cosmetic surgery, is that a common practice in Japan?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
But Japanese people are shy to say so they are hiding that thing. Korean people it's common, so they say.
Very. I know.
I underwent surgery. So how about me like that?
Yeah, I've had many Korean students, and cosmetic surgery is super popular and common in Korea, astonishingly.
Someone wrote down something. The surgery, cosmetic surgery in Korea is super because they changed all females the face the same.
Yeah, okay. Not, any Koreans watching this, please don't be offended, but I have taught many, hundreds literally of Koreans because I worked in a Korean second language school. And yeah, they all want to appear exactly the same.
Yeah, actually, there are many female singers, group singers.
Yeah,
I can't say which is which.
I can't either. And I had the same problem with, yeah, they really, the whole appearance thing, and everyone wants to look absolutely identical. It's really amazing to me as an American. But the men, they all wear the same shirts. They buy the same exact clothes, sports shirts. They all have those black, whether they need glasses or not, they get those black horn-rimmed, large horn-rimmed black glasses. They all have exactly the same hairstyle. It is amazing. And the women even get cosmetic surgery so they can all look exactly the same. It's really, really an amazing thing. Freaks me out, actually. Why? Yeah, it's very, very odd. Okay, Japanese people, what kind of surgery do they get? Korean women, I know, they all get the eye thing done.
First eye, yeah. Making the eye a little bigger.
Yeah.
Double eyelid.
Right, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, American women and sometimes men get cosmetic surgery. American women always remove fat from their butt or their waist or their legs, and then they make their boobs bigger.
Italian women had a very big nose. So,
Nose, yeah.
Yeah, my female teacher said when she was young, she wanted to shave her nose.
Uh-huh. That's a very common cosmetic surgery. A nose job. As just a kind of colloquial expression, yeah, Americans would call that a nose job. She got a nose job. She wanted a nose job. Okay. Interesting. Let me talk to your classmates here. Jose Luis, how about you? Has your personal appearance changed in the last 5 years? Have you done something with your hair? Maybe a little facial hair? Got glasses? No.
No, teacher. Okay, I changed my glasses maybe 2 years ago,
There you
and
go. Okay.
now I am a little fat, or more fat. Which is the correct way?
Well, okay. Glad you brought that up. I'm a little fatter. You and me both. All right, because the adjective fat has one syllable, one vowel sound. We're going to use the er. Er ending. All right, fatter, softer, harder, faster. We use er in a comparative. When we have an adjective with more than one syllable, like intelligent, all right, then we use more intelligent. I'm more intelligent than I was 5 years ago. Okay.
It was a nice tip, teacher.
Yes. All right. Very common mistake to say I am more fatter, but that's redundant. You're repeating yourself because the er already means more. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole reason I had this class with this topic, actually, because I knew this would come up. Yeah, and the same thing for superlative. Okay, I am the most fat person in my family now. Okay. All right. Or conversely, I am okay. Instead of most fat, I wouldn't say that. I am the fattest person in my family. All right, with a one-syllable adjective or multiple syllables. I am the most intelligent person in my family. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yes.
Okay. So you changed your glasses, more fashionable, do you think?
Yes, teacher.
No.
More
There you
fashionable. Yes. And I want to change again, maybe in 1 year.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Have you ever changed your appearance in a, I don't know, shocking or sort of a bold style? Maybe done something, mohawk, or had long hair? Do you have any
Not really.
tattoos?
No, I don't like tattoos.
Uh-huh.
For myself, not, but in the other persons looks good, but I don't like for me.
Uh-huh. I understand.
And not in Mexico. I think that the appearance for men is not important. I think that in women is more important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the men's don't think in this stuff.
Right.
We can use the same gyms 1 week. I use the same gyms sometimes 1 week. So
Okay.
the appearance is no problem for us, right,
Right.
teacher? Well, no, I don't know in the
Okay.
Philippines is same, but Mexico is not a
Actually,
problem.
you're right. You're right to ask, is it the same? Because in different cultures, it's very, very different. In different cultures, it's for the men, it's very important. American guys too. For me, I really don't take a whole lot of effort. I don't put in a whole lot of effort for my appearance. Um, yeah, but some men do. Even
If
some American men do. There are beauty products for
Mhm.
men. I see advertised here in the
Yes,
Philippines.
yes. In Mexico, the men's that use products, uh, we say that is a metrosexual or
Exactly.
sometimes,
Very good.
right? Right,
Nice.
teacher?
Yep. Same. Yeah. That's a
Mhm.
metrosexual, right? A man who seems to be overly concerned with his appearance. We use
Yes.
that word. Same in the United States. Same here where I live in the Philippines.
In Mexico, to have two options. You can be a metrosexual or you can be gay if you use products of.
Yeah. Okay.
You only have these two options.
Right. That's pretty much the same. Frankly, it's too expensive to be gay or metrosexual, so I'll just stay straight. You have to buy all those
Ye-
clothes and beauty products. Forget it.
Yes.
It's cheaper. I have more beer money if I stay a straight guy. Woohoo!
Is is more cheaper be natural, teacher?
That's right. It's more cheaper to be a heterosexual. I don't need all those new clothes and fancy jewelry and all such things. Yeah,
Yes.
true enough. Yeah, and I'm cheap. All right, I'll admit it. I'm cheap. I don't want to spend money. Roger, how about you? Have you ever changed your appearance in a radical way? Had long hair or spiky punk rock hair or
Uh, can you hear me?
perfectly?
Okay. I just remember in this moment that we were in this conversation. I just remember one thing, one big change when I was actually a kid in the high school.
Uh-huh.
Mm, in the high school, I have a big mustache. Well, not a big mustache, but you know, when you are adolescent,
Uh-huh.
it starts to grow,
Yeah.
and it was no normal. I remember that before. I can see pictures from people graduating in
Uh-huh.
years ago. Now it was normal, but by the time that I was studying, it was not normal at all. So, mm,
Now,
so,
wait a
so
minute.
most of yeah.
Wait a minute. When you say it was not normal, do you mean, or it was normal, do you mean it was normal or not normal in society for men to have a mustache? Or do you mean that your
Sorry,
mustache was not?
connection was cutting off.
Yeah. Okay. When you say it was not normal or it was
Yeah.
normal, do you mean having a mustache was normal or not normal? Or do you mean your specific mustache was not normal?
I know in general,
Okay.
because we are in the high school and most of the young men that start to see the monsters, they immediately, uh, what
Ah,
how do you
shave.
say? shave the most,
Yeah,
and I didn't want, but in some moment I made the decision, and yeah, it was a big change. I came to my high school the other day, and everybody was like impressed because I finally made the decision, and they
right.
told me, "Hey, good for you. You look like a crazy man before."
That's
Yeah,
so
I
funny.
remember that was like
Yeah,
because the rest of my life it has been totally normal. I haven't changed a lot.
yeah. Oh, that's so true, Roger. Over the course of my life, I had long hair, I had a mustache and goatee and long hair. I had a mohawk when I was 19. It was color blue. Woo! Punk rock. I've done a few radical things. Never really jewelry or tattoos, but um, yeah, I've done a few crazy things with my hair. And the funny, Roger's absolutely correct. Nobody says anything about it until you change your hair back to normal, and then everyone says, "Oh, you look so much better."
Finally,
Great,
you did it.
right? Well, why didn't you tell me that 2 months ago? I looked like a circus clown. Well, thanks a lot. Now you tell me. I hear you, Roger. Very much true. Roger, do people in your country use cosmetic surgery to change their appearance? Is that a common thing, rare thing?
Yeah, it's a common thing, and most of them are women. And
Yeah.
and I am impressed because even people that you see that doesn't have so much economic resources save money to to make him to make these cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah.
Normally, the to remove fat, yeah, fat parts
Yeah.
of her body,
Yeah.
and yeah, they make a lot of effort to get the money to make that cosmetic surgery.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's
absolutely.
common. It's common.
Yeah, and that surgery where they remove fat is called liposuction.
Yeah,
Ooh,
liposuction.
looks weird and scary to me. Sucking fat out of your body. Ew, yuck. Yeah, right. And some people, yeah, they'd spend a lot of money to do that. Those guys, those cosmetic surgeons, those doctors, those guys make a lot of money.
Yeah,
No, no joke.
because it's easier to make the surgery. It's easier than go to the gym and make some things that are healthy
Right?
and take more time and demands more effort for the person.
True.
It's easier to just go to a cosmetic surgery, even
Yeah.
if it's more expensive. But
Yeah, and that's the choice some people make. Fine. It's a personal choice. I think it is anyway. Ebby, I'm terribly sorry. I did not welcome you to the class earlier.
It's okay. I came late, actually.
Yeah, and we were kind of getting into our conversation. Um, Ebby, how about yourself? Have you ever altered your appearance? Have you ever changed your appearance in a sort of radical way? Getting a tattoo on your face of a dragon,
No,
shaving your
no.
head bald. I do that every year. I shave my head bald when it's summer season, when it's hot season here.
Yeah, but you're a man.
Yes, but I'm a man. It would be radical for you, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Have you ever tried out a new look, sort of a big change in your appearance?
No, not that much. Sometimes I cut my hair, but it's not that really short.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. I don't like to, do something like big in my appearance because I'm satisfied.
Okay, very good. Satisfied and confident. Have you ever dyed your
Yes.
hair?
No.
Never, really.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I
I
don't
thought.
like dyeing
I
because
thought.
I think it damages hair,
Oh,
I see
okay.
a lot of people around me, their hair was damaged because of dye hair. So why should
Mm-hmm.
I do it? And I go for treatment for my hair.
Okay. All right. Very good. I thought, I don't know. Maybe it's just American culture, and also now in the Philippines as well. It seemed to me that like every woman I've ever met has at some point has dyed her hair.
Yes, a lot of people, I mean, like my friends and a lot of students, so when I were in the university, when I was in the university, they dyed their hair. So it is common here, but
Hmm.
maybe I'm unique.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. You can be
Yeah.
unique by not following everybody else and changing your appearance.
Yeah,
Very good.
because I
Okay.
didn't like it. If so, I will do it, But I'm like confident with my hair, so I don't want to dye it.
All right. How about your fashion sense? Has your sort of your fashion choices, have they changed over the years?
Uh,
Well, they must have.
Actually,
Surely.
I like fashion, and
Uh,
I usually buy like the trending things, for example, clothes and bags
mhm.
and these things. Yeah, I like to follow the fashion.
Okay. So, all right. At least as far as fashion and clothes, then you're willing to make some changes, obviously.
Yes, yes.
My goodness. Have you ever looked at any of your old fashion choices and just wondered why?
Yes, yes,
Why
a
on
lot.
why on earth did I go out in public wearing those clothes? Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something crazy. You say like what happened to me, to my
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a child in the 70s, and there's a picture from the early 70s of me, which I just love. It's great. I have pink and red striped pants, bell bottoms, the kind that were really wide at the bottom, bell bottoms, and I'm wearing a belt with a huge belt buckle, like the size of my head, and a plaid or checked shirt with striped pants. It's like a green, green and white check shirt. I look utterly ridiculous.
Were
I
you
look like a
hippie?
clown. Well, everyone dressed like that at that time.
Not
That was
hippie.
Yes.
not a hippie, not at all. That was considered normal. That was for a class picture, actually. That was like I don't know, second, third grade, third or fourth grade class picture. Third grade, I think. Class picture. That was when our parents dressed us up to look conservative and normal to get a formal picture taken, actually.
Bell-bottom jeans and high heel boots
Yeah,
and
belt.
bandana on your hair.
No bandana. No. But yeah, that was fashion at the time. Totally goofy looking, but
Yes.
you know,
Sometimes when I see some of my old pictures, I ask my mother, "Why did you buy me this dress?" And she said, "This was a famous brand at that time, and everyone asked me about your dress."
yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things for women was the giant shoulders in the 1980s. Women had to wear the padded shoulders, so they all looked like football players. Very funny. I like that one. Okay. Okay. All right. Heidi, what do you think? Let's talk more generally. changes. Our topic is changes, really. I'm talking about personal appearance changes. Uh, let's continue talking about appearances, but let's talk about your country, your city, your area. What has changed? You know, talking about physically changed in your area. There, you know, obviously probably development, but
In these 5 years,
yeah, well, you can go further back. I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
my place changed a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
5 years ago, this developer started selling this condo, a tall building. At first, they built up this condo. Then, between the station and my house, there's a wide place. They constructed shopping mall. Then it opened 2 months ago.
Ah,
So the people current and even car current is much different.
what was that again? The people.
Current what? Stream movement.
The movement, the stream.
The cars or
Cars? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. All right. Yes, that's correct. You're using the right language. It just confused me. All right. The traffic. The traffic flow, okay?
Yeah.
All right. The traffic flow has changed dramatically. Okay. Right. That's the normal collocation that we often use to talk about that.
Now it's very hot, so many people gather in the shopping mall.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm just thinking. Sorry, you're talking about the traffic flow, and I'm just thinking about my personal circumstances here.
Before they are going another place, even the far place from here, there is a big shopping mall and a wide parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very far from station. This place is much convenient. People can ride on the train and reach here, very convenient. And even they can ride on the car, both. So many people gather this place. So it's much different.
Okay. It's much more convenient.
Much more convenient.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's more convenient. People can get there more conveniently. We also use more with an adverb in comparison.
Yeah, for example, if I buy some clothes, Zara or other came from other countries, like brand, I can buy anything in front of my house. Before I needed to go to downtown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not only me, other people think about that. So
sure.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, that's all right. That's a big change. Putting a shopping mall near your house is a very big change. Okay. One other thing, when we're talking about change from the past to now. So it would be very common to use present perfect tense. Okay, something changed. Better to actually simple past, something changed. Better to use present perfect. Okay, a few things have changed. It has changed, using have or has, and then the past participle. Because it's changed up to now, and change, when we're discussing change, as we know, change starts in the past up to now, and probably things will change in the future.
It's quite difficult to use because it's kind of point. So I met him last year like that, but we don't meet him every day. Right? I started something. But I can't say I will started, right?
I have started. You can say I have started. Uh,
But
okay, I
meaning is
started.
not continuous.
Well, I'm talking about present perfect tense. I'm not talking about continuous
But
tenses.
present perfect meaning is continuous or recently changed
Oh.
a lot of meaning, right?
Is it continuous? Well, kind of. It means an action started in the past and continues to now. Yeah, so that's true. I have started English classes, which would imply that the meaning is that they are continuing till now, because I'm using present perfect. I don't even have to say it because I use that tense. It means that action continues now. If I say I started English classes, it's all you're really saying is bing, you had a one-time action, you started English classes. If that's all you say, maybe you're finished, you started but stopped before now. The only information you're giving me is that you started. So there's a different meaning. So when we talk about change, for example, many things have changed in the last few years. Of course, the implication is that they started changing, they're changing even now, which of course is sort of the nature of change. You can't stop, you can't fight progress, as they say. So it's very normal to use present perfect when you're discussing change and actually using change as a verb. Okay. All right, so there is a slight difference in meaning, if you use past tense or present perfect. Again, implying a relationship to now with present perfect. Okay, Roger, what's shaking in your neighborhood, in your city? What has changed in the last 5 or 10 years? Is everything pretty much the same?
Well, I can think in two things that has changed a lot. A lot of buildings has been a lot of constructions have been built. People people are getting loans to buy apartments. The loans are more accessible. The economic situation is favoring the conditions for people to get loans to get apartment or to get their own car, for instance. So due to that condition, a lot of buildings has been built, and because of many people are buying cars, the traffic is getting more and more difficult, because even when that business is growing faster, the infrastructure is not growing at the same time. So the infrastructure for the same amount of cars will be work, but the amount of cars that are being sold every day is making that situation very difficult. And with the houses or with the apartments, because here is not normal to build great houses. Normally, they are buildings with apartments that are not so big. And regarding that situation, the thing is that you see a parking space, and at the other day you see, and they are building another what is the name for that? A synonym for that. They are building I don't know.
What are you talking about? What kind of building? A parking garage? Or
no, they are building a building like that holds apartments.
Oh,
those kind of buildings that holds
uh,
apart.
apartment complex. Apartment complex is many apartment buildings, usually like three
Yeah,
towers or something like that.
that is what they built. Apartment
Yeah.
complex here, apartment complex there, and since there are people wanting to buy their own house,
Mm-hmm.
they can build and build and build, and there are people that is going to buy those apartments. So
Right.
that business is growing a
Yeah.
lot. So that is like a big change that I see in my city.
Right. Unfortunately, you're ever so correct. Most countries, not everywhere, but most places, governments tend to plan behind. They plan to build infrastructure after it's okay, as a reaction, not as a proaction, not before things become a problem. Unfortunately, that's very true. Okay, a couple English notes. Buildings, plural. All right, we talked about present perfect, and you were trying to do that. Um, you were doing that, but of course, buildings have been built. A building has. So one has, plural have. Okay, you need to be careful of that. And the other thing is construction. There's been a lot of construction. There's been much construction. Construction is an uncountable noun, so we can't say there have been many. There have been many constructions. No. Um, construction by itself can be a noun, but it can't. It's not countable. Like the 3 constructions going on in the city. No, can't do that. All right, so you have to use some other quantifier. Some construction, a lot of construction, a little construction, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I live on the edge of my city, Roger, and it amazes me. About once a month, I go into downtown, and it looks like a different city. It's freaking incredible. Like, where did this mall come from? Where did this? What? Another Starbucks? Wait a minute. It's amazing. Things pop up like mushrooms after the rain. It's amazing. I don't even recognize my own town if I leave for a month. Crazy. Where I live. Ebby, how about where you live?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think about the traffic, it is getting worse and worse. Uh, it is getting more congested. But fortunately, this year they started a new project, which is they will build a metro station, and also they built 1 or 2 new bridges. So yeah, it is somehow getting better this year. And also they have built some towers. We're getting more towers in my city and more like nice looking buildings than before.
Ah.
And we have a lot of restaurants. They have built a lot of restaurants. You know, I think people are getting crazy about food more than before. And what else? Yeah, and even the prices is getting higher and higher. Nowadays, it's really hard for you to build a house or to, to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, Abby. If I ever have a student who tells me that the prices are going down, I'm moving to that student's country. I'll be coming to your house. I'll be there tomorrow. It's one of the changes that only goes one way. Up, up, up. Yeah. Prices never come down, do they? True. Okay, so they're building a new metro. Is that what you said?
Yes, it's going to be the first metro in my country.
Ooh, really?
Funny, maybe. Yes.
Awesome. I'm sorry, Abby, I forgot where you're from.
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia, and this will be the first metro. Wow. Totally cool.
Yes. Sorry, the second. The first one was in Mecca. It was maybe 2 years ago. And this one is the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you in Saudi? Are you Riyadh or?
Yeah, Riyadh, the capital.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very nice. Wow. All right. All right. Yeah. It's good when your country's growing and things are building. You know, which brings me to another point. Okay. Here's something I'm interested in asking all of you guys. In the United States, all right, and pretty much everywhere in the world, cities just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Is that true in your country, and is that true in Riyadh? Because I bring this up because in America, some cities are growing, but some are very, very flat. They're not really growing at all, and some are actually shrinking. There are several American cities that are getting smaller. Part of that is because today's interconnected technology, internet and so forth, you don't have to go to a specific job site. Part of that is because property values is much cheaper outside of the city. Part of that is because of the economy's not doing great, so sections of the economy like the automotive industry in Detroit, for example, is really failing, struggling. So people lose their jobs and they move away. But my question is, okay, Abby, I'll start with you. Are the cities growing? Are they growing very quick? I mean, population. Are they growing very quickly? Have they moderated? Are they fairly flat, or what? So what's going on with that?
I think the major cities like Riyadh is going very fast, and the other small towns or cities.
Okay.
And I think that also because a lot of people are going out to study abroad, so they started to see how other countries are improving. And I think that this thing affected the growing in my country, because they started lately, this 5 years after people started, to go. A lot of students go abroad to study or to get training or work, and they come back, with a different background about the improvement and how to improve the country and the traffic.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, well, that's another giant area, the area of education. Okay, Heidi, maybe we'll get into that next. Heidi, okay, this is an interesting question for you, because I think Japan has the lowest birth rate of any country in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So, weird question for you. Are the cities getting bigger? Are there more and more population in the city?
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe it was 2 days ago. I was watching news. The cashier said, big city, Tokyo and Osaka or another places, they're getting bigger. But it means countryside, the several town or village is disappearing.
Really?
Yeah, getting older. Only elders are living in a village or a town.
So
after their death, maybe it disappears.
Okay, so if I can, I'm assuming then that the young people are going to the cities for work, probably, primarily. Okay. What a crazy thing. It's not crazy, but if I were a young Japanese man, I would go to the countryside and get a job like I do right here, working on the internet, or work as a telecommuter. My
husband's hometown is the countryside. Only elders are living. Very few young people.
Do people telecommute in Japan? Do they work at home, but their home is their office, but
Older
they,
people can't do that.
well,
I
older
tried
people
to
can't.
tell them, but they can't use computer and even cell phone.
Right, but I'm okay, telecommute, even a young man could work in a company that the company's in Tokyo, but they could be out in the countryside somewhere, breathing nice fresh air and
Why they need to construct the company in the countryside?
No, they wouldn't have to. You telecommute means you work, but you use the internet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
instead of being
I know.
physically in Tokyo,
Why they need to construct such place?
you wouldn't have to. You could do it out of your own home. This is a growing trend in America, and I think this is contributing to more people actually. The cities are shrinking in America.
Because there are only few young people.
Okay. There are only a few young people, but okay. I think it's all right. I understand.
No good thing came to companies.
Right. Okay.
Only land price very low. Only that.
Okay. You mentioned why should companies move to the country? In the United States, there's a huge reason that real estate is 1/10 of the amount that it is in the city. You want to build an office in New York City, it's going to cost you really a lot more than 10 times more. It's going to cost you 50 times more.
Or headquarter office can do the telecommuting, right?
Yeah, anybody can telecommute. I'm telecommuting right now. I work for Verbling, but I'm in the Philippines.
Address is very important for companies. Headquarter office is in Tokyo. It's very important.
Why?
Headquarter office is a very countryside. Where this is? People think it's a very small company.
Okay, perception, public perception. All right, I will grant you that point. Very true. It's nice to say headquarters in New York City, Tokyo,
Yeah, that's right.
Beijing.
Oh, New York, like that.
Right. Okay.
People's reaction is much different.
Granted. Okay. Personally, what I would do is I'd say headquarters in Tokyo, but I would have one small office with 2 people working there, and then really I'd have 7,000 people working out in the countryside.
There are small office. They share the 4 companies, but still headquarter office is in Tokyo.
Right. That happens in the United States all the time. You have so many companies that are registered in Delaware because they have different tax laws, but they have one guy working in an office in Delaware. This is very common business practice in the United States.
Sometimes only one secretary woman.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody to look at the mail.
4 telephones, 4 companies telephones.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Roger, by the sounds of things, the cities are growing from what you were telling me earlier. More and more people, more and more construction. Yeah, where you live.
Yeah. The population is growing, but I will say that it's not like in an uncontrolled way. It's normal, and what I have seen is that rural areas tend to be smaller, not so much, but tend to be smaller in favor of urban areas. The urban areas grow and take portion of the rural areas because of the construction, because of the buildings, and the technologies is reaching some points that before in the rural area was not possible to get. So I guess that for that condition, that thing that was a rural area before becomes a urban area. That is what I have seen.
Yeah, you're talking about the phenomena of sprawl, a city spreading out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting the changes that have happened to cities. I am interested in what has happened in other countries. American cities started out as very central locations, okay? And then they sort sprawl happened. Now you drive honestly, you drive from Boston, you drive the eastern seaboard of the United States, it just looks like one big city. You drive through Boston and then Hartford, Connecticut, New York City, down through all the cities in New Jersey, Philadelphia, um, Bethesda, Maryland, Baltimore, to Washington. It looks like one big city. There's no break. You just see houses and some big buildings every once in a while. It looks like one big city. The Atlantic coast of the United States is basically, if you drive the highway, you're not looking at any forest or mountains or anything. It's just one immense spread out city, which is it's impressive. Not too pretty though. Anyway, historically, American cities started out very centralized. Then this sprawl thing happened, and now it's very interesting because the interior of the city, the original business district of cities, is like kind of disappearing. Like the cities grew up and then they sprawled and now they're dissipating. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
I'm sorry, Roger. Please remove your microphone a little further from your nose. Breath sound is coming from your microphone.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. We've only got a couple of minutes. Abby, you kind of were mentioning things that have been changing in your city. What do you think will be a change in the future? What do you think is something that might happen in the future in your country or in your city?
Maybe we're gonna have
prediction.
more universities. Because nowadays it's like every year or every years we have a new university, and education is getting better. So in the future, it's it's gonna be something very good.
Okay, well that's a very good thing. Investing in education. Okay, that's great. So a lot of new schools are opening.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, Heidi, make me a prediction. What is something you think will happen in Japan in the future? Sure.
Yeah, maybe many companies creating a robot. So in the future, in many places, you can see a robot as a receptionist.
Yeah, okay. Japan is definitely in the forefront, I think, of robotics.
Robotics will cover the fewer population.
That's right. So, okay, in 100 years when you go to Japan, there won't actually be any Japanese. It'll just be robots.
Like I don't world.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, Roger, what's a prediction you can make for your country?
Well, it's not actually a prediction. It's something that is being built in this moment. It's related to transportation. It's a massive transportation method, a tram that is near from here. And regarding the thing that I was talking before about the traffic and all that stuff, I hope that with that tram the situation gets better, because yeah, many people is going to use that transportation method, and the streets are going to be less full of cars and things. So yeah, that is being built in this moment, and I guess that for by the end of this year or the beginning of the next year is going to be finished.
You know something, Roger? After talking to you guys today, I'm starting to think it would be a very good idea to invest in companies that make trains, high-speed trains, trams, these types of things.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
good.
constantly in the news, all these different cities all over the world buying trains, building new metro, subway systems, etc. You guys were a perfect example of that. All right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I think that
invest money. Yeah.
transportation. I think that transportation is a very important topic in a city to the
Yeah.
growth and for the development of the city. The way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people goes to the
Where I
places.
where I live in the Philippines, it was just announced the purchase of some, I don't know, 100 or 150 new metro cars. The actual in a train, each section is called a car. So yeah, here too, same thing. More and more railed transportation, mass transportation. My prediction for the future is that pretty soon people need to get it together and realize that due to global climate change, there's going to be, and overpopulation and other factors, there's going to be less and less water, and people need to get it together and figure out how to make desalinization plants, desalt, taking out the salt from ocean water to make drinking water, to make usable water for agriculture and for human use. I think inevitably humans are just going to actually die unless they have enough. We need water. And all over the world, I think people are going to have to start to figure out
And even people
construct them.
can use water as a gasoline instead of gasoline.
Yeah, hydro power. Yeah,
Seawater.
yeah, right. Yeah, that would be great. Personally, I think that technology already exists. It's just secret.
And next year, Honda and Toyota will start selling.
Really?
Yeah, hydrogen car.
Okay. Note to self: invest in trains and Honda. If they have a train that runs on water, that's it. All right, that's the ticket right there. We can all be billionaires. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. That was a very pleasant conversation. Thanks a lot. And you guys have a great day. I'll be seeing you later.